Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about why physical media collectors have so many things still sealed in their collection. Because when you look at my collection, it's being flagged from time to time where I'll pull something off the shelf and I'll be like, oh, I got this movie, but it's unopened. So why is it unopened? Well, when you get to a scale like my collection right here behind me, when you get to a scale like this where you have like 3,000 odd Blu-rays, when you get to a scale like this, you start to really struggle to keep track of what you've watched, what you haven't, what's new, what's not. And sometimes it's just more convenient to just put it on the shelf unopened. So that way, if it gets to the point where you need to resell it at some point, maybe a collection takes off. Maybe it's just something becomes highly collectible, like Bad Boys over there, way over there. That became collectible at one point. I relucted to sell, I didn't sell it, but I knew it was going for like 150 for just Bad Boys at one point. But that's the thing, like, when I don't open a Blu-ray, when I buy it and I don't open it, or a 4K, it's me saying that I haven't watched it. It's me saying that, yes, may have seen a 4K conversion online, or seen scenes on YouTube in 4K, or whatever. But I haven't watched that version in particular. So that when my eyes come in here and glance for something to watch, I could go like, oh, you know what? I'm going to look for something that I haven't seen yet. And, oh, this one is currently sealed, so let's pull this off the shelf and have a quick look. So it's still sealed, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Now, I have seen this movie a long time ago, a very long time ago, but I haven't watched the 4K transfers, so there's definitely something I need to watch. There's something I should watch and revisit the memory. Now, I do believe I know the plot of that movie because I have watched it a very long time ago, probably in my teenage years, but I haven't watched it recently, so when I see it sealed, I'm like, oh, maybe time to revisit this movie. Pop it open and let's have a look. There's also movies that I haven't seen that aren't opened, or like that are specialized or whatever, such as Vigilante. I've got that on 4K. That's still sealed. Now I do want to watch this movie. I bought it. It's definitely still sealed. It looks pretty cool. Sometimes I could go, oh, I haven't watched this one. Oh, it's still sealed. I should really crack that open and have a look at what that movie's about. So it also brings eyes to me when I'm like looking for something to watch. Because most of the collection is open. There are a lot of things in the collection that are open. The regulars, like the Speed, the Titanics, and stuff like that. Like Speed's definitely open. I have watched Speed a bunch of times on 4K. But what I'm saying is that with 4K and Blu-ray, and even DVD, if it's still sealed, your eyes are going to go towards the sealed packages and say like, oh, like I've watched Fast and Furious, but they haven't watched the 4K transfers, so they're still sealed, but I have watched them, but they're still sealed. So when I come in here and say like, okay, I'm going through a watch through of Fast and Furious, I can see they're all still sealed, and I can start making my way through it, saying, okay, I'll watch number one, I'll watch number two, and then start working your way through them again. Now I have watched up to about Fast Five back in the day, because then The Rock came in, and when they were driving over those rooftops in Argentina, it just kind of was like, meh, Buenos Aires, I believe it was. But you know, it kind of was like, yeah, now it's just becoming kind of silly. And Fast and Furious movies were always kind of silly, except for number one. But I think there was kind of a put off for me there. But having them on 4K, I might choose to go back and watch them again, and then I'll work my way through them, open them as I watch them. And then you have stuff in here like TV series and like, oh, I haven't watched Westworld. Got it on 4K Blu-ray. It's not going to come out. Obviously, it's not going to come out. But where is it? Just ignore all this. But I've got Westworld there on 4K. I've got a couple of series here like House of the Dragon I haven't watched, still sealed. But that's a reminder to me that, hey, you haven't watched this? So when I come in here and browse, it's like, oh, I should really watch that. I should really give it a chance. I should check it out. But that's why I do it. That's why I do it in a certain way. Because when I go through my collection, my eyes are going to glance towards the stuff that's still sealed, just naturally. Now I do have favorites that I'll rotate towards and gravitate towards, like, you know, a South Park or like a Shrek or even like a Home Alone during Christmas. But then if your eyes start going like, oh, I haven't watched The Grinch in a while, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey. I know I haven't seen this in a couple of years, and I last watched it on Blu-ray. So I've got a sealed 4K here, so meaning this will probably enter the scenario in December where I start looking for Christmas movies to watch, and I'll be like, oh, I haven't watched this one yet. I should really give this one a chance. Like, I haven't watched it in a while, so let's watch it. But that's where I am with it. That's why I keep things sealed. And also, like, with the Grinch there, what you just saw as well. Like, let's pull that back off the shelf real quick. with the Grinch right there, when I open it, that slip cover there is also going to be exposed. If I do it a certain way, I can open it at the top so that it's very clearly cut and I don't take the plastic off the rest of it. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, while I'm just leaving it sitting there for the most part, why would I open it and risk getting this more damage than it needs to be if I haven't watched it yet? So there's a couple of reasons why I do that. And also resale value, like sometimes maybe you get a bit short or in money or whatever. Sometimes you might just need to sell something. Sometimes something might become collectible and you haven't watched it yet. Like I know for a moment, I don't know if it's still the case, I haven't checked in a moment because I'm never selling my copy. But I know The Crow went for an insane amount on the Steelbook. The Steelbook's actually in there. But I know this was going for a stupid amount at one point. And I've got this version. I'm never selling this version. I'm keeping it sealed for the time being, just until I want to know if I want to buy another copy and keep this one sealed. But it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I watch it probably once a year or something. But I haven't watched this copy on 4K yet. Last time I watched it was probably a year and a half ago. And that was on Blu-ray. And the reason I do that is because, yes, this is a collector one. This is very much a collector one, and I like that it's collector value. But also, I could resell that, I know I'd get some good money for that one if I resold it in sealed value, I know that. But this is the thing I'm trying to put forward. Collectors are aware that we have things that are sealed in our collections. We're aware, we know what we're doing. But by doing that, I'm also making the educated decision that with 4Ks and with my collection, we don't know what's going to get valuable. I'm not always looking at reselling. I'm not always looking at like, oh, get the biggest amount of money possible for everything. Most of these, sometimes if something blows up, I'll look at what it's selling for roughly in the eBay sold listings and be like, oh, okay, I'll list this for like $50, or I'll list this for 100, or like, I don't want to ask too much, but that's always what I'm thinking about. Is it going to another collector? Do they want it? What's the fair offer? Like, I always try to turn on offers when I can. But, you'll try to gauge the market. You'll try to figure out like what people are paying, what it's worth, and you'll make your assessment of like, based on what I'm seeing here, I would value this at blah. And as a physical media collector, you're always valuing your collection. You're always kind of looking at it and saying like, okay, I think that copy of Top Gun, they still sell that in JB Hi-Fi on 4K. I reckon the original Top Gun, that might be worth $5. Someone would buy it for $5. I would buy it for $5 if I saw it in a op shop and was like, oh, $5 for Top Gun, yeah, I'll buy that on 4K. Now, not everyone's going to pay that amount, but a lot of times it's what people would pay for it. And a lot of the reason I keep a lot of the collection sealed as well is that just general maintenance. Like, as someone who, I'm very cautious that insects and bugs and stuff can get into places. Like, if there's no need to open it at this point in time, why open it? I very much am on top of bugs in that I try to keep all bugs controlled, and I'm very successful with that. But there are occasions where, you could get a bug in something. So I'm very much aware that if it's sealed, it reduces one place that a bug could get into. And that's the thing, I'm very much cautious of stuff like that. I'm very much like, oh, well, if I don't need to open it right now, why open it right now? There are a lot of benefits to keeping things sealed. I'm looking at the Rob Zombie movies here. Now, I haven't watched have I watched The Devil Rejects? I'm positive I watched The Devil Rejects back in the day. I haven't seen House of a Thousand Corpses, though. But, the Rob Zombie movies are still sealed. I know there's a big collector audience for Rob Zombie movies. Now, that might be going for big amounts online, maybe, but as it stands, like, I know I can get some money for that if I was to resell it, and it's sealed, and, they don't have to worry about any damage to the disc, and you don't have to describe, oh, here's a picture of the back of the disc and try to get the reflective side. You'd say, this is sealed, I take no thing for if the disc doesn't play because it's sealed, but, selling it as is. Suspiria as well. Like, I've got the 4K of Suspiria, I believe. Did I buy it? I'm positive I bought it. I don't know, but I might not have bought it. Either way. But, I've got this copy of Suspiria. I haven't seen Suspiria, but, like, oh, have I? I might have... No, I've watched YouTube clips of it. I feel like I've seen it, though. I've seen, like, most of the movie, but I haven't seen, like, sat down and watched it from beginning to end. But, either way, that might be a bit shocking to some of you, but, I know about it. I know Dario Argento. He did that Dawn of the Dead cut as well. But, I'm very much aware that, there's a market for that if I was to resell it. I know Terrifier has a market. I know people will buy Terrifier. I know that's got a big market if I was to resell them. They have a big market. Not too big a market, but I know people will be like, oh, Terrifier for like $10 each, or I mean, they can get them in JV Hi-Fi for maybe 30, so I'll probably go like 15, maybe 20, depending on how nicely I want to present it and, like, do free postage or whatever. There's ways to do this, but that's why I leave a lot of it sealed. It keeps its value, but also there's a lot of aspects where I'm kind of like, with my collection, it helps manage it. And this is when you get to a size collection like this, you need to manage your collection. And that's one of the ways I manage it. I keep things sealed until I don't need to keep them sealed anymore, or until I feel the need to watch it, or whatever. And once I open it, I'm just like, cool, okay, I've opened it now. Now it's a used item. So it's constantly monitoring, like, what I'm watching, what I'm not watching. Have I seen this version or haven't I? It's just those little extra steps of like, okay, I haven't watched this version, so maybe I should watch this version. That's why I do it. Do you guys have a similar system? Do you guys do stuff with your collections like that? Jump down in those comments and let me know. I want to know how you guys interact with your collections. And this has been another video. Yeah, peace.